And we are we are live, folks. Check out this intro.
Hell yeah.
So, if you think you're smarter than a Culp, come on in with your comments. Throw some questions out there. I'm Bryant Culp. This is David Corona, one of my good friends. This is the Friday night show. We had some rescheduling. If you guys are here in the chat and you can do me a favor, go on your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you have a social media, and retweet, share it. It's Friday night, folks. We're going to have a great show. John Jay will get you the link here in a second. John LaJoy, if you're not busy, come on in. Shifty, if you're not busy, come on in. Let's have a great show. So I'm going to start sending a bunch of links out. David, let me hear you. Let's hear how you're doing. And real quick, David,
Yes, sir.
Let's shout out the chat real quick. We got
John
LaJoy.
What's up, John LaJoy?
All right, so I'm going to put the people's name up, and you go ahead and shout them out.
Yep. What's up, John? I can't say his last name. LaJoy?
Yeah.
We got myself.
We got this good-looking guy right here.
Yeah. We got Red Jet. I don't want to say her name. Yeah, Red Jet. Jet Show. How you doing? We got 49er Throwback.
That's right. He's got a cool channel too. Go check him out. Good guy. Red Jet coming back in with a lot of love.
We got Carcat.
Let's go.
We got John Jay. We got Red Jet. Sure.
Yep. Just call her Red Jet if it's easier for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's easier. Okay, cool.
She's actually going to the game. So shout out to her. She's sitting with one of the queens of the faithful, Miss Debbie Ryan, and Top Hat Debbie. And just, enjoy the game, Red Jet. If you want to come in, there is the link. You can come in for maybe 5-10 minutes. Give us your hot take of the night. That'd be awesome. If not, it's okay. Make sure everybody hit the like button.
We got Laura Cat.
That's right. And she is a true faithful as well. I really appreciate Laura. Okay. David, keep going on with the chats.
Yeah, we got Jason, Cat, Nina, Mason.
Massey.
We got John Jay.
Laura again.
We got Laura Cat.
Showing that love.
We got South 49er.
Shifty
49er Top.
Yes, who is an awesome 49er content creator. David, if you're not subscribed, we'll send you the link later and you'll get you going. And he is an awesome content creator and somebody you should definitely follow. We got John LaJoy. I'm going to speed it up just a second. We got Laura, 49ers First Take, Shifty, Carcast. We sent you the link on Instagram. Come in, buddy. Laura, Daniel Berry Sports, Damian Lee. I felt the force. I felt it, dude. I really do. Tommy Huxley, if you want to come in here in a little bit, I'm going to send you the link as well. And we got my good girl, my best girl, my only one right here. Let's get that camera right there, right.
We got Miss Hope.
Miss Tony. I'll get my big old thumb out of the way. And I'm going to start sending everybody some links. And let's get it going, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming. David Corona, it was super awesome to see you the other day on Terradome's channel. If you don't know about Terradome, please go check him out. He does shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's a lot of fun. The other day, man, you were on, and it was just funny. Maybe it's time for you to say goodbye, but we always love it when you come on. funny.
Yeah.
So afterwards, we were giggling a little bit because you always bring energy to a show, and it's always fun. So
I appreciate it.
check it out, guys. The chat is popping. Crazy Juice,
We got
what's up, bud?
Crazy Juice. What's up, Crazy Juice?
Oh, dude, he said it best right here. Quest for Korey. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Carcast, I will send it to you on Twitter because I think that's the better way for me to send it to you. And so we're going to go ahead and jump out of the comments for a second, and I'm going to start sending some other people the links. If you guys want to come on for 5 or 6 minutes, if you want to come on for the show, we appreciate you all. So, Tony, do you have any insightful questions for Mr. David Corona? I know it's not every day you get to pick Corona's brain or ask him a great question. David, don't blurt out your favorite special teams player. That's not the question right now.
Okay, all right.
Tony, go ahead. All right.
Well, first off, let's start off since it is a Friday night. It has been a victory week since we have beat those pesky ass Eagles. And as a fan, not knowing specifically if we're gonna beat those darn Eagles or not, and being able to watch at least most of the game and seeing that, yeah, our Niners did, in fact, lovingly whip the shit out of some Eagles. So, shout out to the Eagles. Yeah, you guys are, pretty stout as far as offense and defense, but who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
Nobody.
We're the best team in the NFL.
That's right.
Pause for a second. I can't do it as great as the GOAT can do it, but we are going to introduce my friend, my brother, Captain Niner, Jason Niner Smash Massey. Thank you for coming to the show.
What's up, bro?
We appreciate it. He is up there in Seattle. He is actually in enemy territory. So, Jason, what are the vibes in Seattle currently?
They used to do this thing up here called Blue Friday, where everybody wears Seahawks gear. It was good. It was big. It literally didn't start until 2012. I think I saw maybe 2 people all day in Seahawks gear. So as far as they're concerned, they're more attuned to cracking hockey right now, which we suck as a hockey team right now, and getting ready for baseball season compared to football.
And I know just on your show that you and TJ were having, one of the topics that you guys were talking about was a potential groin injury that the Seahawks quarterback, Mr. Geno Smith, is facing or dealing with. So that's interesting.
Yeah, apparently he heard it yesterday in practice.
So he's not playing?
It's looking like he's probably not going to. And this is just according to their local radio stations and all that kind of stuff. I think he's just tapping out because he took a beating the last time we played them.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that. Yeah, he doesn't want that smoke again. So I think he's gonna let Drew Lock take the beating this week.
That's even worse.
So that's where they're sitting at. It's also looking like Charbonnet, the running back who's been filling in for Kenneth Walker, is also looking more and more like he's going to be out. But it also means that it looks like Kenneth Walker is trending to be back playing again. He's their second-year running back who's a pretty damn good player, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's what they're looking like for at least for their offensive side of their ball.
I guess I got more ching coming.
What do you bet? You just straight 171 up, straight up?
Yeah, just straight up with other people.
You doing the spread?
No, just straight up.
I got a 50 going with the 10.5 point spread. So
I did do that last time on the app. My cousin did it for me, and they said the 49ers have to win more by 7, and they did last time. So I put 50 down, and they give me 93 back.
Yeah.
So I think we win more than 10.5. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's up to 13.5 now.
Oh, is it?
Especially since the last time. But we all know Pete Carroll, and we know for a fact that regardless, that man's been trying to out scheme us, since before we even played them the first game this season. And I'm just going, gentlemen, to take a second, and we're going to add our next guest, Red Jet Shell. Hey.
Hey!
Finally, I get to go live with her.
Hey!
Let me see your keychain.
See my chain.
Oh, hell yeah. I like that.
Oh, yes. Oh,
You
nice
changed
to
the
meet
logo,
you.
that's a lot.
Yes, she's so pretty. Aw.
And you said you're going to the game this week?
Yes, I'm going Sunday. Excited. Oh,
I'll be
God. Back and forth.
I'll be at the game on Christmas.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, that's dope. Ooh.
That's gonna be a
I'm
great
staying home.
game.
Yeah, that one's an arm and a leg. That one's going to be an arm and a leg.
I tapped out already for games this year after the Thanksgiving game. I can't spend any more money on going to games.
Right?
Yeah, this is my first game. This is my first game ever.
Oh, you're going to have a good
Oh,
time.
that's going to be
Wow.
epic.
This is your first time? Well, you're going to have a good time. Levi's is fun. It's a fun
Yeah.
one. Candlestick, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year was my first time at Levi's. I've been to Candlestick a few times, but I've never been to Levi's until last season.
All right.
You know, I've been to
Yeah.
park
Yeah.
only 2 times, but the 2 times that I got to go there with my aunt and my cousins and my uncle, rest his soul. But when we got to go there to Candlestick, we went to a Seahawks game, which we won preseason, and a Raiders game preseason, which we won. But it was just epic. You know, it's just so awesome.
Hey, shout out to everybody. Sorry, real quick, Jason. Shifty, I sent you a link. 49ers Ultimate Report. Nancy Cameron. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming through. Big support.
You guys got some good
It
teams?
is. Yes.
You got Patrick Willis?
So
Yes. I met him last year. I met him.
Oh, hell yeah. That's right.
Yes.
Love it.
Best day of my life. And I had a big smile bigger than this.
He should sign you a jersey.
You know
I
who
didn't want
else
him to
loves
because it's the only one I have. And then I'm like, I want to wear it all the time. So I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I want to wear it.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want it autographed. So I don't want to mess it up. So
Right.
Oh, totally. It's autographed. You got to frame that one.
all right. So
right,
everybody
right.
is welcome. Everybody is welcome. If you come on and you do something weird, I'm going to delete the video. I don't care. We're having fun here. So I'm going to send the link in the chat. If anybody in the chat wants to come on as well, you're more than welcome to. It's Friday night. We want to talk about 49ers. And Red Jet.
I finally get to meet
we're going to start out with
I love the kicker guy. The kicker guy is here. Yeah.
Ooh, Robbie?
The man, Bryant. Yes.
Oh.
Can I just say kicker lives matter? Can I just say it finally?
David, it's too early, man. It's too early. You don't want to go backstage and sweep up right now, buddy.
Oh,
right?
no.
I am not the Mr. linebacker. I'm not Mr. tight end. Okay, I have a tight end. Okay, pause. Right. But
Pause.
I am the
I
kicker.
thought we weren't getting weird on this show.
Oh, you're the kicker. Okay.
I didn't hear that.
So no, I played kicker in high school, and I was a third string quarterback. So those are my 2 passions. Like where I like
That's
relate to
why
football.
it matters. Got you.
So yes, I love special teams. I was pretty good at punting too, but I was the fastest or the let's just say tallest guy either. But I have a special guest coming on real quick, and I want to ask you, Red Jet, and I want to introduce him real quick as well. And we're gonna get everybody's before I bring him on real quick. This is the question: what's your favorite 49er jersey? Okay, bringing on my friend from Ireland, Mr. Shifty 49ers Talk.
Oh wow!
Yeah, what's up, bro?
What's up,
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
Good.
You guys can hear me okay?
So
Yep.
we can hear you fantastic. So first off, we don't get Shifty on all the time. First, if you haven't subscribed to Shifty's channel, please go do. He does these play-by-play
He does good work.
plays on the weekend. comments. They are fantastic. He also dropped his power rankings through the week. They are awesome as well. And for anybody who isn't a fan, like I'm sorry, me and Shifty have a big connection. I do do have that little bit. I wish we could have met up in when you're over here in the States. But you see the Blink 182 back there. You see the Jerry Rice on the wall. You see the Green Day over there in the corner. I mean, like, are we not besties? I don't know. Tony's right here next to me. She knows what I'm saying.
Oh.
But Shifty,
What's your age
how
again?
are you? Right? Oh my gosh,
like it,
Jason!
I like it.
Oh. Okay, so let's start with Shifty first. How you doing? And then here's my question. Stick around as long as you want. We're gonna roll for 2 hours, but as long as we can keep you, I'm gonna have you, right? So
Cool.
Your favorite 49er jersey. It can be the old throwback. It can be the old 80s uniform. It can be the 6 to 2007 jersey. It can be, I want to hear 94 jersey, and I want to know why. We're going to go to Shifty, then we're going to go to Jason. I'm bringing in Red Jet again, and we're going to go to David after that.
God, my favorite jersey. That's a good question. I would probably go with I'll probably go with my Jerry Rice one here. It's from the 94 season. That's my I love the Jerry Rice one. I have so many jerseys. One of the jerseys that actually
sorry to cut you off. Is it the white jersey or is the red jersey?
The red Jerry Rice jersey. This one here is
okay.
This one here is probably my favorite. I would say I have a few other jerseys that actually mean a lot to me. One of the jerseys that I really like, and I have it somewhere here, is it's actually, I remember it's an Alex Smith 49ers jersey. I remember buying it after his rookie year. And if you guys, so that was 2005. If you guys remember, Alex Smith's rookie year was terrible. It was, if you look at the stats, I won't say, but look at the stats for Alex Smith's rookie year 2005. I just believe in the guy. You kind of don't want to, but if you do, you'll be like, what the hell? Like you would imagine if Twitter and everything was as big now as it was back then, like Alex Smith would have not lasted into his second year. Like his rookie year was so bad. The team was terrible, but that jersey just I don't know. There was something about it, and I was a huge Alex Smith fan, and he got better, but that's the whole other thing. But my favorite player, and who I think is just the best player of all time in the NFL, not just the 49ers, but just the NFL. I think Jerry Rice is the epitome of football. He has the best mentality. He's won. I mean, you look at it, I think what's crazy with Jerry Rice and is the fact that, like, you look at his records, and this was in the age before you had so many rules that favored offensive players, that favored quarterbacks. And some people will say, well, he got to play with Joe Montana and Steve Young. And that's maybe a fair argument, but his records will never be touched. Most receptions, most receiving yards, most receiving touchdown, like those will just never be, no one's ever going to come close to it. And I think that just speaks to Jerry Rice as a person, his mentality as a player, and just how good he was. So Jerry Rice, my favorite player of all time. I think he's the best NFL player. I think he's the best player who's ever played the game. And I just love perfect. I mean, the Niners have the best uniform in football. And of course I'm biased, but I think that's a lot of people would probably agree with that. I just think Jerry Rice is the best player of all time. So it's an easy one for me.
That's why I wanted to ask you, and I had to pause and interrupt you because some people love the 94 white jerseys. Some people like the red jerseys. And, like for me, like I do have a call whatever. Say what you want, but please don't unsubscribe. I do have a white. We have 3 Jimmy Garoppolo jerseys in the house, okay? And when they brought that 94 jersey back in,
Ronnie Bell
won 5 games in a row. I ordered it real quick for me and Tony. I tell you what, I like the 94 white jerseys. I like the red ones, but when they put that gold around it a little bit, oh boy, I gotta tell you what, that looked really pretty. Jason, I'm gonna bring Red Jet in again, but tell me what your favorite Niner jersey is and why.
honestly, I like them all. I just like the design. It's pretty simple for the most part. I like simple designs when it comes to uniforms and stuff like that. And we have a fairly simple design and color pattern and stuff like that. The only one I absolutely hated was the black. I absolutely hated those uniforms. Not just because they're black, because if they had more gold on them, I would have liked it. But the only gold that they had on there was the Nike swoosh. Like if they had done it the block style with like the numbers, kind of like with Red Jets one over here, where if they had the black where it was gold like that on the black jerseys, I would have liked it. But otherwise, I thought the black jerseys were complete trash. So yeah, I mean that's how I feel. I honestly wish, and I know they're going to be ugly as sin, but I want to see an all gold uniform set. Trust me, they would be ugly. We should. That's what when we did the color rush for the NFL, when that was the whole thing, like what's the most obnoxious color uniforms and everything. We should have went all gold, kind of like with the Seahawks and their stupid neon green uniforms.
Oh,
They won
God,
that because they were so ugly.
Yeah,
But
Hey,
say it again.
our uniforms
I have
No,
the all gold
like
jersey.
No shot.
Yes, Tony brings up a good point. If you guys did not remember the mustard and ketchup game between the LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs, it was one of the highest scoring games of all time. And I tell you what, it was just one of those games, but they wore not highlight, but it was the color rush jerseys. It was all yellow, all red.
ketchup and mustard.
And then the Bills, that was the relish and ketchup game. The Bills and the Jets, all red and all green. The ketchup.
That was a
and relish
colorblind game. The people who were colorblind couldn't actually tell who was who in that game. No, I have an all gold jersey. It's ugly as sin and it's obnoxiously loud, but that would have worked for Color Rush.
I think you're right.
I don't know. I like the black. I like the black. The black was
I like the black too.
different. I like the black with the red, but I didn't like the iron on. I have Navarro's jersey in black with the red numbering, but I don't like the iron on. So that's why I like this one because it's stitched. That's the only thing I don't like about the black jersey is that it's not stitched.
I'm going to bring in our next special guest. Okay. But I agree. The black and red jersey it needed a little bit something else. What, like Jason said, the number, the double print or something, put the gold around it a little bit, make it look like more of a throwback. One thing that killed me on that uniform is the double red line on the pant leg. Yes. I think that looked horrible. Put one red line or something like that. Maybe put the gold on the outside of the red line if you really want to,
right. A highlight. Yeah, exactly.
We look too much like the Falcons or something. But real quick, again, we're going to keep going around. This is a great question. Everybody, thank you for coming. Real quick, my friend, our brother, a good guy, John Jay, the 49ers Ultimate Report from Daly City. Again, I can't do it as well as our good friend Korey Davis, but we're bringing him in right now.
John.
All right.
Yeah, John Jay is man. John Jay is man.
Part of my favorite jersey I have is I have to probably say I got a couple of them. I got Patrick Willis, I got Nick Bosa, I got Kittle, got CMC, I got old school Jerry Rice, white one.
That's good.
And part of my favorite one, I like the Jerry Rice too, but I'll probably have to go with the Patrick Willis. That's what I have to go to. So, yeah, she has it on.
So those are a lot of great numbers. Those are great numbers, great players. But what we were trying to find out is what is your favorite jersey? Do you like the 94 throwback? Do you like the home? Do you like the away? Do you like the jersey like what Red Jet Shell has, which is from what I want to say 2000? No, it's from 1996 to 2007. Or what
I like
kind of jersey is your?
I like the black jerseys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that I like the 94
Everybody,
the
David likes the
most.
black ones. John Jay.
I like the 94 and John Jay, I'll let you do your thing in 1 second. I like the 94 the most. However, I think the one that Red Jet, what she's wearing, that whole era is, I think that it gets, because we didn't do great during that era when we wore those jerseys.
Right.
I think those
Yeah.
jerseys looked really good. I love that jersey so much, like the road jersey with Patrick Willis. I had a Vernon Davis one, the same thing, but it was like Vernon Davis. But I think those looked amazing. The
Yeah.
only shame is the fact that we just didn't do great wearing them. But I thought they looked amazing. And Patrick Willis, all time. I mean, if it's not Jerry Rice, I think Patrick Willis. I think he's one of my favorite guys. He's
Same here.
He's. I mean, look, I haven't met the guy or spoken to the guy, but just everything I've heard and just seeing him as a person, as a player, I think he's arguably my favorite 49er of all time. I think it's probably between Jerry Rice, Patrick Willis, or Frank Gore would be my three favorite.
That's a good jersey, yeah.
I love Montana. I love Steve Young, but because they brought Super Bowls, and so did Jerry Rice. But I think my favorite guys from my age, I think it has to be either between Patrick Willis, I'd say maybe Frank Gore. It's those guys were just the guys that I grew up with, and I think those jerseys are awesome. I like the black jerseys. I think maybe a gold trim around the numbers and the names would have been cool, but yeah, I think the jersey that you're wearing is just awesome. I love those jerseys. I think they're so good.
Well, see, what I like about this jersey is, well, one, it's my husband's, and I started wearing it. So then I inherited it, and because he stopped wearing it, and he's a Frank Gore guy, so I'm like, we have this one, Frank Gore. What do I have in there? Kittle, Warner, Juszczyk, who's a fellow Taurus. So I had to get my Taurus's jersey. I had to. This jersey I have worn through some things, funny and not funny. First time I wore this was when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. And I literally wore this, and I'm sitting in a chair and I'm screaming.
Oh,
that was the Super Bowl year, y'all. Just saying. I'm just saying. Pause. I'm just saying. And we lost to that bird team. Yeah.
Well, like Jason
I don't remember what bird. But this jersey makes me just feel.
We won't talk about
I don't know. I just feel stronger with it on.
You should. You look great in it. So, just like Shifty said, Jason said, if they could have put the black jersey with the red on the red number, and then put a border around it a little bit, would have been. You can't do the black on black. That would have looked a little.
Right. Yeah. No, I can't do black on black.
Yes, but instead of having the black border, if you could have like flipped it and had the gold border, so it would have looked correct on the jersey, I think we would have had fire.
Right.
But I'm going to bring in another special guest. And then we're going to let John Jay talk, but we have to do it just like Korey does it, bringing in a guy who is a faithful to the 49ers channel, but is a great guy. We got to give him his credit, but a Seattle Seahawks fan. So we might want to ask him some questions about his team here in a minute. But let me bring in Mr. Eric Wallace, who's been waiting patiently.
What up, Eric? How you doing, brother?
Eric, how are you doing this evening?
What's up, Eric?
What's up, Eric?
hey, Eric.
How's it been doing?
Yo, what's up, Eric?
Not much.
You guys ready to lose on Sunday?
Thank you, Eric, for coming. We got a question on the table.
Well, I tell you,
You're just coming out shooting.
we need a miracle.
Again?
We need an absolute miracle to pull this off. But yeah, I think we're gonna lose.
Hey, at least he's honest.
Whoa.
Yep.
Well, if it makes you feel a little bit better, it's not about the Seahawks. It's really not. It's about Corey Davis. We are on a quest for Corey Davis right now. So we need as many wins and as many good vibes because this year the 49ers hopefully and will Super Bowl. That's our goal. But let me throw this question out, and I want to get your question, your answer, because you are an outsider looking in. But we have to get John Jay his chance to answer this question first. It's what is your favorite 49er jersey throughout the eras? We've had a couple different alterations, and I'm going to ask John first to give him, his opportunity. And then Eric, before you leave, don't go away. I want to hear what your favorite 49er jersey and possibly Seahawks jersey is. John Jay, how are you doing tonight? Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Appreciate it. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Yeah. So I like the jerseys, the one that we wore in the mid to late 2000s before we changed it to the current format that we currently have. And I've got to, over time, develop a big, love to the jerseys that we're currently wearing. But during those mid to late 2000s, I love how the numbers popped out of the jerseys. And there was a guy who made a video of all the jerseys at that time, and he talked about how the red and the gold complemented each other. And because the Niners played at Candlestick Park, the colors really overpowered, like all the muddy and murky. So it was a wonderful two colors that the Niners picked. And out of all the other jerseys, they had to say, who would have thought gold and red powered each other so complementary that when you look at the jersey, it's like wonderful. So I've always been a fan of the jerseys of the mid to late 2000s. I love how the numbers popped out. It looks so like badass, and I wish we could have some games in the future, using those jerseys. I used to have one of those jerseys. I had to sell it in a few years ago, but man, those are some great jerseys.
Hey, you guys mind? You mind if I ask?
Honestly, shout out to any.
Go ahead. I was gonna ask Swiftly a question.
Go ahead.
If Alex Smith has a roster has Brock Purdy you think Alex Smith will how can I say it, have a good season like has Brock Purdy having in his last two seasons?
Wow.
You're asking me about Alex Smith?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, see, Alex Smith. So the whole Alex Smith thing is pretty interesting because we obviously took him number one overall over Aaron Rodgers. And when we took him number one overall 2005, his coach at the time, Urban Meyer, who now is infamous, but he basically said that Alex Smith is not, he needs to know the entire playbook before he can be useful. So the fact that we played him, I think it was maybe week 5 or 6 of his rookie year, we set him up for failure. However, I liked Alex Smith a lot. I think that Brock Purdy has been a lot better than Alex Smith. And I think that you make a good point. I like your question, David, because there's a lot of different factors that go into it. And this is where I think football is such a, it's such a team sport, but also a coaching sport where you look back then where Alex Smith, his rookie year, who was his offensive coordinator? Mike McCarthy. Second year, it was Norv Turner. Third year was Jim Hostetler. He changed coordinator every year. Whereas you look at Brock Purdy, he's come in, and it's like Kyle Shanahan, who I think we could probably all agree is either the best, if not a top 3 offensive coordinator play caller in the league. I mean, I think everyone would agree at least top 3, if not the best. Plus, he has great weapons, thanks to John Lynch and his drafting. So I think it's a very different situation, and it's hard to say. Ultimately, though, what Brock Purdy has shown in such a limited time is so much more than what Alex Smith had shown for the majority of his career, that I would have to take Brock Purdy. Just because I think that, yeah, look, it's important to have good weapons and whatever, but I just think Brock does so many great things. And I, to a large degree, I dismiss where people are drafted. Like, I mean, you can always point to Tom Brady, Joe Montana. They were drafted later. It doesn't necessarily mean success. But how things have gone so far, I think I mean, for me, I would take Brock Purdy over Alex Smith. However, that doesn't mean I'm not an Alex Smith fan. I just thought Alex Smith was.
But Brock Purdy has a better roster around him. He has weapons. Alex Smith didn't have like good weapons like how Brock Purdy has right now.
I agree, but I mean, it's not like Alex Smith had nobody either. I mean, throughout the early years of his career, he had Frank Gore, he had Vernon Davis. Initially, he had Brandon Lloyd, then he had Antonio Bryant. Yeah, 2007 to 2000. Alex Smith was in a bad situation. I agree. He did it. Yeah, again, I think for most of his career, he had Frank Gore and Vernon Davis. And then when we eventually got guys later on, like Michael Crabtree, and then when we got Jim Harbaugh and we got that good coaching that backed him up, he played a lot better. They are different situations, because I think Alex Smith got drafted to a team that was the worst team in football. That's why we had the number 1 pick. That team was terrible offensive line, terrible whatever. I don't even think the coaching that he got was great. Whereas Brock Purdy came into a very good situation. So it is hard to it's not an apples to apples in my opinion. It's Brock Purdy comes into a perfect situation, whereas Alex Smith comes into a worst situation. Look, I would say this. I'm a fan of Alex Smith. I love Alex Smith. I think he's a great quarterback. Well, a good quarterback. I would have probably preferred if we took Aaron Rodgers, but it's hard to compare them because the situations are just so different. But I would be open to hearing if other people have thoughts on that, whereas if they agree, I just think that Brock Purdy came into a great situation because he was the last pick of the draft. Like, we all know that. He was Mr. Irrelevant. It's not like we took him first pick, first overall because we stunk. That's what happened with Alex Smith. And then Mike Nolan, I don't think any of us agrees that he was a good coach. There's so many variables. It's hard to compare them, but
no, that's not true. Okay, I'm starting this off because Mike Nolan was a fantastic coach. He did not have everything situated around him. And the reason they fired Mike Nolan was to hire Mike Singletary. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, Mike Nolan was building a team with our general manager, and wait. Okay. If Alex Smith wouldn't have gotten hurt as many times as he gotten hurt, Mike Nolan wouldn't have gotten fired.
I don't know.
Yeah,
okay, I will agree with you on. I will agree with you. I actually think because initially when Mike Nolan came to the Niners, he was actually the head coach and the general manager. Like, he had all decisions. So here's what I will agree with. Mike Nolan, I liked his thought process of building the team. Because when you look at it, that offseason when he first came in, although the guy was always injured, but he signed Jonas Jennings to be the left tackle. He drafts Alex Smith, number 1 overall. In this first pick of the second round, he drafts David Boss, who's the center for Michigan. So he's like, I'm going to try and build an offensive line. The first pick of the third round was Frank Gore. We had another third round pick, which is Adam Snyder. And it's like, okay, so you're building an offensive line, a running back for Alex Smith. And Mike Nolan, he knew defense. When he was in Baltimore before the Niners, he knew defense. So he's thinking, okay, let me build the offense. And he had Mike McCarthy. And that year, Okay, so I know I said earlier it was like Alex Smith's rookie year was terrible. Alex
Not
Smith in his
true.
rookie year had 1 touchdown and 11 interceptions. Look it up. It was dreadful. It was awful. And then here's the funny thing, though. Mike McCarthy, after Alex Smith's rookie year, gets hired as the Green Bay head coach. For whatever reason why they hired, I mean, we bring in Norv Turner, which was a great move in 2006. And then Alex Smith has a good year. Frank Gore goes off and does his thing. We sign Antonio Bryant. He goes off. We have Vernon Davis, and he does his thing. But then Norv Turner, after 2006, gets hired as the Chargers head coach. And then we just cycle through offensive coordinators. I think Mike Nolan's thought process was really good to try and build a team around. Look, we'll get Alex Smith, an offensive line. We get him Frank Gore. We get him some weapons. I just think that Mike Nolan, I mean, when Alex Smith got hurt, he questioned Alex Smith's toughness. And then I think Mike Singletary did an okay job. Clearly wasn't the right guy for the job. But I think that Nolan and Singletary and Scott McCloughan, I think they did a decent job building the team. And that's why when Jim Harbaugh came in, his first year, we should have gone to the Super Bowl because they built a good team. I'll leave it there.
I just want to say this.
No,
Alex
you got a
Smith
lot of
would have
good points. And
benefited from being in a
we're both on
situation
same.
like Trey Lance
Jason.
was.
I'm gonna throw it back to you, Jason. I'll give it to you in a second.
All good.
Shifty and me, we agree on a lot of points. And a lot of points. But Alex Smith had 7 coordinators in 8 years, 8 coordinators in 7 years, or something like that. The guy never had the same offensive playbook. Never ever did. And then, with him getting injured throughout the year that he had, and it wasn't his first game he got injured. It was a shoulder injury, and that was one reason he had such a bad rookie year. But again, no knock on Alex. It was our offensive line. It was a lot of the players that we had. We didn't have a defense at the time. But as the team continued to grow, and we had Alex, and he was still on the team, we were like, okay, we're seeing Alex grow. We're seeing the team grow. And we got to a point where, like, this guy, we believe so much in. We've had him, and we're invested in him. We want to see him succeed. And that's why it was upsetting when Singletary did come in and we had the musical chairs with Troy Smith and Alex Smith. Troy Smith was good too, but if Mike Singletary would have still been here, it's it's really, really safe to bet Alex wouldn't have been here that following year. But we did have Harbaugh. Harbaugh came in. He seen Alex. Alex was able to be successful in our season. If it wasn't for the Giants and that other guy who wore number 10, we're not going to say his name. And, we had a good opportunity. And then Alex went to the Kansas City Chiefs too, didn't he? And had one of the highest offensive scoring, ever. So,
right.
But let's go to Jason real quick because this is a hot topic. Did we need to move off of Mike Singletary, or did we need to move off of Mike Nolan so quick? Was Alex really our guy, or did he get injured too quick? I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Shifty, dude, we're on fire right now, bro.
I know it's like the Niners Hollywood Squares right now. I'm just like,
well, okay, so a couple of things. I actually agree with most of what you said, Bryant. Is that I think that. With Singletary here and Nolan and McCloughan, I think they built the team well. I think they actually got a lot of really good players. I just don't think as coaches they were that great. And you can look at the fact that after we got rid of Singletary, was he a coordinator anywhere else? No, he was an assistant coach somewhere else. I'm not saying he was a bad guy. I liked Singletary, but it just didn't work out. Mike Nolan, he was a defensive coordinator. He kind of bounced around a little bit, but he never was a prominent he'll be another head coach somewhere else. So I think the coaching wasn't that great. I liked how they built the team. At the end of the day, though, when you look at I just think that Jim Harbaugh inherited a really good team. And I loved Harbaugh. I thought he was amazing. And but he did inherit a good team, and he inherited that team from Singletary and Nolan, built by Scott McClune. I think Trent Baalke, I think, was an assistant GM for a while before he became the GM. But there's a reason why he came in and had success immediately. One of the reasons was because he put a lot of faith, and he really built the confidence of Alex Smith. He put some weapons around him, which was great. I know what you're saying. Niners, Giants, NFC Championship game. We're not going to talk about that. But it was, oh God.
No, we don't remember those two fumble snaps.
That never happened.
No, we don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that never happened.
I have that bear, Bashar. I have that same bear.
That never happened, right?
I feel like royalty right now. Go ahead.
I think
it's fluid, y'all. It's fluid.
Well, shout out.
What I will say is
let's take a pause for a second. Eric hasn't spoken at all. Bashar, I want to welcome you to the show as well, and thank you, Pterodome, for coming through. I seen you needed a little bit of help, so I did my best.
What's up, Pterodome? What's up, 49 reminder?
Would it be
Eric Wallace? I don't think we ever got your opinion on what was the best looking 49er jersey, and throw out to me what you think is the best Seahawks jersey, and then I want to hear Bashar and Pterodome, and let's get back into this. What me and Shifty kind of started. Eric, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, but how you doing tonight?
Okay, we're gonna move on from Eric. We're gonna go to Pterodome. Eric, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Eric is shouting out. Eric was doing his thing.
There will be no birds.
All right, so we're gonna move to Pterodome real quick, and then we'll move to Bashar after that. Pterodome, your favorite 49er jersey? Any style.
94.
It could be the throwbacks. It could be the 94.
The 94. The 94.
94's the year.
Red or white?
They just look sweet.
Red or white?
They just actually both. Actually both. The contrast on the jerseys, the cleanness of them, the players that were in them. It's just really, really not close. And when we want to do something special, we go back to the 9-4. We go back to the 94 jerseys. It's got 49 in it. It just was made for it. Dion made it look sweet. Merton Hanks, Steve Young, Bar Nunn, the fullback. They just look sweet. It's hard to touch them. 94 jerseys all the way.
All right, I love it. Bashar, what's your thoughts? What's the favorite? What's your favorite, in your opinion, 49er jersey?
I apologize. I don't have my good equipment set up, but I decided to jump on since he put the link on the Twitter or whatever on the DMs. My favorite, obviously 94. The red 94 was really, really good. That was my favorite, but I still liked it when they even after 94. I forgot what year they stopped. But it was almost like after 94 they kept the tradition, but they changed up the jersey here and there, even back all the way up to when T.O. and Garcia were playing. They were similar style jerseys, but they'd change it up every now and then. So I don't know, from 94 to maybe I don't remember what the cutoff point was. Maybe it was up to like 2007 or something, I believe. But I just like that style. They were all very similar, but they would add different little tweaks to the 94 red jerseys, which were the throwbacks. But I just like that old style. I still like what we have now, obviously, but I don't know. I just like it where it's more like the old style.
Great.
Most definitely. All right, so who wants the next crack at this great debate? With Alex Smith and Mike Nolan. Did Alex Smith's injuries cost Mike Nolan his job? Red Jet Shell.
Okay, we're going to take a page from the Pterodome from Thursday's show, and that's going to answer this question right now. So when Alex Smith was drafted, we all knew what we were getting into, right? Utah and the change in command over between 2005 all the way to 2011. So it was HELL on in a handbasket all the way until this I Want Witters came along, and then you see Vernon Davis walking off, stomping off the field, and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh crap, here we go. Here we go. And then this Jim Harbaugh with the khakis and the sweatshirt with the Sharpie in the middle. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, okay. Then we win one. We won against the Seahawks. That was week 1, if y'all remember. Week 2, we lost a close one to Dallas. Then we didn't lose again for like, I don't know, 9 straight weeks. One of those games was in Detroit, and Detroit was the top team. They were undefeated, and we were 4-1 because we lost to Dallas. And I went to that game in Detroit. And when I'm telling y'all, when they won that game, I was like, that to me, I know the Saints game was, if you were there at Candlestick, then you know what I'm talking about. But if you go to an away game and you experience 4th and goal with like less than a minute left, no timeouts, and my man goes in and he shifts over the goal and it was over. That stadium went quiet. I'm sorry, that was Alex's finest hour. I mean, I have never seen nothing like that. So I think that kind of shifted the pendulum, because just the change in guard between 05 and 11 was just, it was hell, y'all. It was hell. It was hard to go to the Candlestick games. It was hard to just watch the games at home, because it was like, okay, another 2-14, another 7-9, because it was only 16 games, and it was just like, damn, we got to go through this again. But that's what it was like for me. So to answer that question, that's what I thought. It was just a changing of the guard. It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. I'm like, yeah, okay. Another 2-14 season. All right.
Wait, real quick. So, Red Jet, you were at the game in Detroit?
Mm-hmm. I sure was.
That was one of my favorite games. Yeah, Alex Smith, basically one of the last plays of the game, hits Delaney Walker for the touchdown. Yep. And that was the game where Harbaugh shakes hands with Jim Schwartz, and Jim Schwartz didn't like how Harbaugh did that. And
Shifty.
he slapped him or tapped him on the back really hard or whatever.
Yes, and it was this big brawl. So we leave. My husband and I, we left the stadium, right? So we're at Detroit Metro at the airport. We're waiting to fly back to Arizona and then on to back to California where we're at. And we're at the airport and these people are just like glaring at us and mean mugging us. I swear to God, you would have thought you were at a Seattle Seahawks game. I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm looking at my phone. I'm charging my phone. I'm sitting there waiting for the plane and everything. And breaking news: Jim Schwartz and Jim Harbaugh get into it. I'm like, no wonder they're glaring. I'm like, y'all wouldn't happen to have a flight to like Vegas, Oregon, Texas, anywhere? Just get us out of here.
That's amazing.
Right? Isn't that crazy? I was like, I'm like, okay, you know what? We need to get we need to go.
I remember that game. I remember that game, and you're right. I think we were like 4-1 or 5-1. I think
we were 4-1. Yeah. We're 5-0.
Yeah, Detroit were like randomly 5-0, which for Detroit was like
it was random.
And yeah, we beat them, and
that was
the game. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't a great game. I remember like we struggled.
No, it was horrible.
But we eventually got things going, and yeah,
right.
I remember that play. It was like right. It was like maybe 4th and goal or something, and Delaney Walker does like a quick slant, and then Alex Smith hits him. He barrels into the end zone, and such a great. I remember watching that game, but I wish I was there because that would have been awesome. I'm so jealous.
We were just watching the Bears play Detroit in Detroit, and I was like, well, the Niners will be there Sunday, and we were watching, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, let's get up out of here. So I'm like, okay, so we leave on a Thursday. We didn't get home till, I don't know, 1:00 in the morning that Monday. It was just like, let me tell you. Okay.
Was that your
Detroit
first and only 49er away game?
It was my first one ever. I had never traveled away, and I'm hearing these horror stories about Philly, Pauls, and I'm hearing these.
Detroit's nothing like Philly. I know plenty of Detroit fans, and I've been there multiple times, and they're nothing. Yeah, I've never been to the games, but I've just been to Detroit. I've met plenty of Lions fans, and some of them are my relatives, and yeah, they're pretty chill.
Yeah, they were cool. They were really cool.
I could imagine that Detroit fans are a lot more chill compared to, like, I mean, from everything that I've heard and from things that I've seen about Philly fans, even back in the day, maybe like 10, there's that famous video where there's like a couple of 49er fans sitting down and they're getting pelted with like snowballs and everything like that.
Oh yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah. And I just think
You
it's
remember
so
that, Red
awesome.
Jet?
I just think it's so awesome when the Niners go in to Philly and beat them, like we did on Sunday. And then, like, what was it when I think it was Michael Vick was their quarterback and Justin Smith forces the fumble at the end. We beat them, and it was like, that's just sweet.
Oh, I remember that. That was that was awesome when he did that, when he punched the ball loose.
Go Cowboy.
Yeah, we need the Cowboys to help us out this week.
I heard the Alex Smith
We
conversation.
need Deshaun Goldson. We need this guy. We need number 53. We need help.
I heard the Alex Smith conversation earlier, and no knock on Alex, but I just think he was completely overdrafted. He was not worth the number 1 pick overall. He was you could definitely tell how inexperienced he was. And for the majority of his career, Alex Smith kind of had that Jimmy G vibe to him where he got rattled really easily from the pass rush. And it wasn't until we had solidified the O-line that he really, really had some success. And then he had Harbaugh to kind of keep him in check. And then unfortunately, Alex Smith's best years were when he was on the 49ers. I mean, it seemed like he finally figured everything out by the time he left the Niners and went to play with the Kansas City Chiefs. So it was just, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, but I mean, Purdy is just way better. It's not even close, dude.
But if Alex Smith has a roster like Brock Purdy has right now, you think he will win a Super Bowl with the roster we have right now?
No, I don't think he would.
No, you don't think so?
Nope.
Same. Nope, me neither.
I don't think so.
No, I think he does.
I like Alex. I like Alex with a lot. I like him a lot as a person. I just don't think Alex would win a Super Bowl for us.
Well, I agree with Bashar. I agree with Bashar that Alex Smith wasn't great with the 49ers. I think it took him so the biggest thing with Alex Smith, right? And it's the exact opposite of what the 49ers did, was when he was drafted, his college coach at Utah was Urban Meyer. Now we all know Urban Meyer at the Jaguars was he was a travesty, but he was a great college coach. And Urban Meyer said, Alex Smith isn't effective until he knows the playbook inside out. And what did we go and do then? And it wasn't the Niners' fault because we got Mike McCarthy as our offensive coordinator his rookie year. Then he gets hired as the Green Bay head coach. Second year, we hire Norv Turner, which I think was a great move. And Alex Smith had a good year his second year, solid year. Then Norv Turner gets hired as a head coach. So he never got to get the playbook down fully. Plus, when you compare him to a Brock Purdy, it's like, well, I will say, and I agree that Brock Purdy, I think, is better. Brock Purdy, what he's doing is amazing. And he has the advantages. He has Kyle Shanahan. He has Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey, all those guys, a better offensive line. But with Alex Smith, it's like Urban Meyer, who coached him and made him the number 1 pick, says, here's how you make Alex Smith successful. And unfortunately for the Niners, we did everything opposite of what Urban Meyer said. It's like, well, and it wasn't even our fault. It was we hired, again, all the coaches got hired as head coaches. So it's like, I like Alex Smith. As Bashar said, I think he's a really good guy. I've always rooted for him. Even when he went to Kansas City, I rooted for him. But ultimately, I will have to agree with Bashar too, where I'm like, I think Brock Purdy is just a better quarterback. I think he plays the position better. I think he reads things a lot better in the field. Whether there's a play to be made or not, I think Purdy's a better player. But I will say that I've always have been, I always will be a big Alex Smith fan, especially, and I know it's not football related, but the injury that he got and then recovering from that, and how well he did to come back from that. I thought that was awesome. But I would agree that I think Purdy is a better quarterback.
That's why.
Earlier, hold on.
We got to hear some Terry, though.
Purdy. Okay, so
for Alex Smith, Alex Smith should have been in one of like a Trey Lance situation to where he could have sat for a year or two and then started playing. then that's where, as Shifty had said with Urban Meyer, he could have learned the playbook and everything to its fullest, but instead we just kind of threw him out there and just he floundered because he just couldn't get to know it to its full extent.
And that's what makes Brock Purdy very interesting quarterback, considering the fact that he's the exact opposite of what Alex Smith is. Alex Smith was first, Brock Purdy last, and both guys were thrown into the league hitting the ground running. And fortunately for us now, Brock Purdy has shown that he can survive smack to the ground. He's made the best with the plays, and no dig at Alex Smith, because honestly, for me, I also like Alex Smith. And I think some of the things about Alex Smith that I wish I would have seen, like any other fan, would be to see a little bit more consistency, maybe at least 2 to 3 years in a row for that guy to have at least shown some sort of stable ability to show it, like what consistency as far as the quarterback that he can be. Because he's shown that, he's made, he's went through entire seasons for the Niners, where he's made it without an injury. And then there's been seasons where we lost him to an injury several years. And then he left us and went to other teams where he did play, when he wasn't injured, great, kind of like the way that we've seen him on our team. But then again, injured. And then, but for Brock Purdy being, last pick of the draft, coming in and making this almost like miraculous healing of his elbow and coming back and just like filling in his position as if he never skipped a beat, which is kind of wild. It's kind of like, sometimes you think of, okay, so you had an injury, there's going to be that hang up time of where, mentally, emotionally, physically, you're going to have to get back to where you left off. But it seems like all that kind of like skipped, because when Brock Purdy came back, he was just kind of like, this is where I left. And it's almost showing, he's playing at a little bit better of an agility and efficiency than he did last year. And again, no dig at Alex Smith. If he had a little bit better of a league around him consistently, like how Brock Purdy does, when he was thrown in there, he was thrown in with a win now lead. Like our team was win
What
now.
have you done
It
for
still
me
is win
lately?
now.
Yep.
Whereas for Alex Smith, it was kind of like, all right, but
So I want to ask
other
you
than
guys.
that, yeah,
we got a
or if
whole.
you look at the
David
situation
Corona's got it
then
too.
and now, man.
I don't want to take over the call, but let me ask you guys this, because I think this is a cool question. We'll start with whoever wants to take it, but who is your guys' favorite 49er of all time? Not the you think is the best, but just your favorite. And like whoever wants to go with it. I
go with Jerry Rice.
Let's start with Terradome.
Jerry Rice.
Terradome, because we haven't heard from Terradome, and then we're going to jump to John J. And whoever else wants to take it after that.
Yeah, Jerry Rice. You might as well ask me who was second. It's Jerry Rice. 22,895 yards, 1,549 receptions, 208 touchdowns, born October 13th, 1962, Mississippi Valley State. He's my guy up and down, all around. I have trained soldiers with Jerry Rice in mind. I find the biggest hill, and I would run that hill like Jerry Rice, HBCU alum. Jerry Rice, it is all over and said and done. It ain't nobody but the finest player ever to grace a pair of Nike Jet precision cleats he used to wear, looking immaculate, playing even better. He knew he had you in the fourth quarter. Conditioning will make a coward out of you, and Jerry Rice was in such supreme condition, it made a hero out of him. He just everything you want, everything you could ask for. He was like Mozart looking for the perfect note. He was like John Coltrane putting together a concerto. Jerry Rice. It's
the San Francisco treat.
Yeah, Jerry Rice, Ronnie, the San Francisco treat, led by example, just got it done and took no quarters. It would tell anybody even some of the greatest in the game. Hey, this is how we do it around here, man. We can't have you out during Super Bowl
Tear it
night.
down.
Get it done. What's up, bro?
Pterodome, I heard you say that. I was over here. I was on the other side, and everybody knows Rice-A-Roni, San Francisco treat, right? But when he went to Oakland, you guys know my dad's a Raider fan, right?
Oh God, here we go.
Oh my God, he
I was a
started
Raider
saying
fan.
brown rice.
There's a little Raider in all of us.
Here we
I
go.
was no, stop, right? But we got another little fan who wants to come into the show. Everybody, I know we don't all have
Little fan.
not everybody gets to talk at once. Panel, but thank you all for coming, bringing in our little friend, our favorite Philadelphia Eagle. Cry, Eagles, cry. Yes.
Lead on to misery.
No, wait, Paul. We have to have some decorum on this show. Let's have a little class.
I respect Spongy for still
Yeah.
showing up to all of our shows.
But
though.
we love
Much
you, little
respect,
Sponge.
dude.
We
Right,
actually
give the man his
little Sponge
flowers.
is converted to a faithful.
He's a secret Niner fan, but he lives in Philadelphia territory, so that can make it awkward for him.
What's up, Joe Steven?
And we have our friend from Northwest, right? The Pacific Northwest, Mr. Joe Stevens. Thank you for coming.
How's it going, guys?
Yo.
Joe Stevens playing you guys.
Somebody has an echo.
Somebody has an echo.
I think it's Sponge.
Yeah,
Do I have an echo?
Hey, when they stomp you out like that, you're probably hollow there, Philly.
Yeah, how you guys doing? Sorry, my bad. I'm late.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Wonderful.
You guys ready? You guys ready to lose this week or
A
what?
great happy
Probably.
David
You
Carell.
ready? You ready?
Hold up, as someone else in the same neighborhood, are you flooded out where you were at, Joe?
No, not at all. There's a lot of rain, but
There's been Tacoma and Lakewood, we're just not ready for this kind of weather, and people are stupid. So it's been flooded everywhere.
yeah, you'd think after about 200
Brian
years
and I,
you'd
we
be
live
able to figure it out.
Right.
Dry.
Pterodome, this is for you.
Oh, be afraid.
Hit that
I
thing.
hear nothing.
Does that be afraid?
Uh-oh.
You guys didn't hear that? You guys didn't catch that?
You
No,
muted.
I
Oh, I
couldn't
think
hear
you
it.
went on mute. You were muted.
Okay. I was gonna say Pterodome, this is for you.
All right.
What?
Still, oh, can't hear.
Wee.
It sounded like a siren.
Yeah. You know why I did that?
Oh no, I don't need to go to work tonight.
Oh, 911. How hold?
Wee.
Enjoy that.
Pull over.
Work hard.
Oh, you went back to Eddie Murphy Delirious 1984.
Oh my
Or
God.
was it Raw? It might have been
If
Raw.
you have not
It was Raw 1989 with the purple Jones on. Yeah. Pull over.
Over.
Oh my gosh.
The
I have seen Eddie
elite
The
Murphy
best
go.
stand-up of all
That
That
time.
is one of my favorite.
Is it wrong? I wish you guys were going Sunday. Oh my God, this is the best Hollywood Squares ever.
Yeah, that was the first time I went to see a comedian in 1987.
You saw him live?
I saw him
Oh, and you went
live
to saw
Richmond-
him
Damn.
Lucky.
at the Richmond Coliseum, man. Eddie Murphy. My first concerts were Run DMC and Eddie Murphy and Luther Vandross. Those are my first three concerts.
Vandross.
Never too much. Never too much.
My first concert was Cool in the Gang
Oh, that
What?
Summer
Where?
Madness.
in Lake Tahoe, Caesars.
Oh my God.
Was
I
it?
was like 11 years old or something.
Yeah, that was
My
back in
first-
the. Was it Ladies' Night?
They played that. She's Fresh. It was when She's Fresh came out. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was when it came out.
My first
Exciting.
one was the Bee Gees in Japan.
Saying it with your
The
chest.
Bee Gees. Who went
Yep.
to see the Bee Gees?
The
That
Big
was me, man. I
Gees.
saw them in Japan when I was
Captain.
like 10.
Oh man,
Japan.
the BGs.
I see.
Yeah, I lived in
Yeah,
Japan for
the
10
BGs
years.
is bad.
Whoa,
The
konnichiwa.
greatest soundtrack ever is Saturday Night Fever. It's got more number
yes.
one than Cam Newton Jersey Day at Carolina. That Saturday Night Fever was just awesome. It was
hit those BG high
masterful.
notes.
It was masterful. Something has to happen to you where you got hit between legs or something to hit those BG notes. But we all try to hit them, in our
Speaking
private
of
time.
concerts in Japan, the night that I was supposed to fly back from Japan to the U.S., I almost missed the flight by like 5 minutes because the night before, TLC was playing in downtown Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome, and I missed the first train back to the Air Force Base. So I had to catch a second one, and my parents were like, "We are going to leave you if you don't get your ass here." And I'm like, "I'm okay with you leaving me in Japan."
I saw TLC live.
TLC owes me a football game. We were playing Grambling in the Meadowlands when I was at Virginia Union, and at halftime, TLC was out there, and every red-blooded American young man for Virginia Union University forego the halftime and tried to sneak out and see Chili, Left Eye, and T-Boz instead of learning the adjustment we should have been doing.
This is the way.
Yeah, I got to see all three of them with Left Eye and everything. Yeah.
My first concert was right by Jason's house. It was at the White River Amphitheater. It was Korn and Rob Zombie.
Wait, was that like 97, 98?
Yeah, that had to be.
I was 0 in 97. I was 1 in 98. So no, it was like.
Okay. I think I went to that one.
Korn was
my first concert was Mac 10.
Oh, that's concert there.
What?
Yeah.
Mac 10, Too Short.
Love Mac.
I'm curious to ask. I'm curious to ask Joe Stevens here. How are you feeling about Sunday?
Probably gonna get our asses kicked. But let's. But Bryant, what was your first concert? Sorry, we'll get into that in a minute.
My first concert's really funny, really funny, and then we'll go to Joe. We'll go to Shifty's question.
Shifty.
My first concert was because my brother Mark, his girlfriend didn't want to go to for whatever reason, she couldn't make the day, right? So I became his date, right? And he took me to a Cake concert. So if you don't know about Cake, you gotta go check them out. Right? I love a girl with a long jacket.
They're from Sacramento.
Cake takes on a whole new meaning nowadays.
I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun. We went, and if you haven't heard of cowbell before, I tell you what, we had so many cowbells. It was amazing. But yeah, my first concert was a Cake concert, and it was awesome. But Shifty, ask again, Joe, how he feels about the Seahawks and maybe Kobe Bryant and
How do you
Jake
feel
Bubba.
about this Sunday? The question was.
Well, Cake. Yeah. Well, before that, Cake was go in the distance.
Yeah, go in the distance. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That was Cake. Okay.
And we need more cowbell. We need more cowbell.
Yes. Spin, painting, erasing, going the distance, and so on. Cardi left with the cup.
Wow, Brian rapping.
I'm letting Brian go.
Brian got bars. Okay.
I'm letting him go. Yeah, there we go. I'm letting Brian go.
That's where
Is it sad that was once considered like top music?
Kind of.
Well, I wasn't a big fan of going to distance. I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
It was kind of short.
I'm curious. To ask, we have like a Seahawks fan here, Joe. Of course, how do you feel about the game on Sunday? And then how do you feel about how the season's gone? I feel like Seattle, they've kind of had like an up and down year. The last few games obviously haven't gone the way that they wanted. I think the schedule's gotten a bit tougher, but how are you feeling about Sunday? And then how the season is looking for the Seahawks, your confidence in Geno Smith and all that good stuff.
Well, so I know you guys have kind of been a little late to the news because I've been watching you guys' podcasts today. But so Geno's probably not going to play. It's probably going to be Drew Lock this weekend.
I
Oh.
reported on my show.
Yeah, so
That's an easy win.
yeah, it should be. Here's the biggest thing with the Seahawks is it's almost like it's a repeat of last season. Start off real hot, shitty during the middle of the season. We're probably going to end on a high note. Let's be honest, we're probably going to sneak into the playoffs with like 9 wins. We're probably going to lose our first playoff game. It's very frustrating because talent-wise on paper, we're not that far from you guys. On the field, it seems like it's a mile apart. I mean, it's so frustrating because we feel like we started to catch up with you guys and you can't tell a difference from this year and last year. So, yeah.
Well, I agree that something that I think that Seattle did really well was I think you look at their draft, Witherspoon, you get Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he's going to be really good. Probably the eventual successor to a guy like Tyler Lockett. I think that with Seattle, it's a case of I think Geno Smith is okay, but I think you need someone who's going to be better and elevate the team a little bit more. Pete Carroll, I think he is one of the better coaches in the NFL. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a lot older. So, I mean, how long is he realistically going to be around?
Probably 2 more seasons.
That would be, I would probably have guessed.
He's a clone. He'll be there
2
forever.
or 3 years. I mean, he's going to be there as long as he wants to be there, I would imagine.
That is true. The fans may not want it, but realistically, so I was there. I'm too young to remember the shitty days of the Seahawks, let's be honest. So I started going to games in 2002, and Holmgren was already the coach for 3 years. But I don't know where I was going with it. Oh, yeah. But I watched a year under Holmgren that was 4-12. I watched a year under Jim Mora Jr. that was 5-11. And people, there's a lot of 12 since 12. There's a lot of people that have only known the Seahawks under Pete Carroll, and they want him gone, right? Well, you don't know what life after Pete Carroll's like. It might suck. There's a better chance of it sucking than it being any good.
And I think that's a spot on point because, I mean, even as Niner fans, like when Jim Harbaugh left the 49ers, we hired Jim Tomsula, who was already a coach of the team.
You had to go there.
I know. I'm sorry. And then
he farted. He farted.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that was those 2 years were rough. But I think you make a good point, Joe, that so a lot of fans, as you've said, they know what they know of Seattle is Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, and now it's Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, and they might be in for a rude awakening because this might not be popular here, but I legitimately think that Pete Carroll is probably a top 5 head coach in the NFL, and I think that Seattle did a good job in the draft last year. I just don't believe in Geno Smith. I think he's an okay guy to come in, hold down the reins for a year, but I think you need someone who's going to elevate the team. There's a lot of talent there in Seattle. You look at, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba. You look at the defense with Woolen, and you look at Witherspoon now, and there are guys there. I like Boye Mafe a lot. I think Boye Mafe is a really good player, but it's just – I think that they need a quarterback, and it's just the way the NFL is that you have to have a quarterback if you're going to be consistently good in the NFL. The one thing which I will say, and I'll leave it at this, is that I think Seattle absolutely needs to go back to their retro uniforms and jerseys full time because they are way better than.
Amen.
They are so much nicer. So much nicer looking.
The gray, green, and blue and white. Yes, all day.
Here's another thing.
Nice.
But they do look old, though. They do look old, I would say.
So does your guys's.
Yeah, but they look
I
so
don't know,
much
yours
better.
look
Our,
really,
ours are
Lantern.
classic. Ours are
The
classic.
nerve.
The
So
neon
yeah.
green.
Yeah.
one
something in
thing,
between
Right.
that piercing bright yellow green and in between the retro one. Something in between.
For one, Shifty and Red Jet Shell. I felt like I met Red Jet Shell before, but anyways, it's nice meeting you guys. I've never
Maybe
met
you
you guys
have.
before. I don't-
Everybody knows Red Jet Show.
Yep.
She's
Oh
the
God, here he
she's
goes.
the
He's a
norm.
cheerleader.
The norm from Cheers whenever she comes into a
The
chat, ladies and
cheerleader.
gentlemen. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
No, pause. No, you don't want to do that.
Do it again. Do it again, Terry.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody
knows
knows
your
your
name.
name.
Bum,
Hey,
bum, bum, bum.
Norm.
So,
The beer,
anyways,
anybody?
Shifty, I think they're gonna. I think we're gonna draft a quarterback in the first round this year.
It's all
Let's
David
hope they-
Corona's fault.
Let's hope they cut Jamal Adams after June 1st, because that's when his contract will go way down. And then obviously
Good
as a
call on that
Washingtonian, I'm a big Huskies fan. I hope it's Penix.
I hope
I
that.
don't know. So obviously I've watched every Huskies game this season, and I don't know how he's going to handle under pressure. That's the one thing I'm nervous about Michael Penix in the NFL. Because he has basically an NFL offensive line blocking for him and 3 NFL wide receivers catching for him.
Yep.
But he can sling it, dude.
Pushing down on me under pressure.
Yeah. Doom, 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 doom.
Stop
Sorry,
saving
man.
your eyes.
He's good though. He's good. He's gonna go out top 3.
Baller and Terradome are like the brothers Johnson.
Oh,
so you
He's
don't know who that is.
lefty, right?
Man.
Throw tomatoes at us.
Brother Johnson was bad.
I'm
That
not who that
Disco
is.
Nights. Oh my God. That bass riff. My man Rod Cali is in the building. Rod Cali, man. I sure wish you get on here and DJ a little bit, man. Give him a little
Right?
something. Give him a
I'm
little something.
saying, send
Boy,
him the link.
That Brothers Johnson. If you need to get dressed to go out, play the Brothers Johnson Disco Nights. So
Stop. Play stop. That's the one. You know
Oh, man.
Let me ask you this, Joe, real quick. I just have a question for you. And I'm not saying this to try and prop up the Niners in a big way, but so I always think it's cool to hear about a fan of another team's perspective on the Niners. Like, what are your thoughts on the 49ers now? Like, what are your thoughts on Brock Purdy, what you've seen, and like the Niners as a team? Just in general, are you impressed? Or are you like, oh, it's just Kyle Shanahan? Or
No, I'm not impressed at all. Yeah, I think you guys are the best NFL team in football. Let's be honest. I think there's nobody that really comes close to you guys right now. And I don't think it's Purdy. I really don't. I like Purdy. I don't think he's bad, obviously, but I think the way that they built their team was the way that I hope the Seahawks are building their team, and they're kind of God, I can't speak English. It's trajecting that way because we do have Geno that's only going to be $15 million on the books next season, and then we're probably going to draft a young quarterback, let him sit behind Geno for hopefully a year, and then we're going to have a young quarterback with lots of talent around him. But yeah, I think you guys built your
Hey
football team
Joe.
the right way.
Hey Joe, real quick. You know who we got this blueprint from? The 2011-2012 Seattle
Seahawks.
This is y'all's playbook. We're playing it back to you. That's all. You got Russell Wilson. You sent a supposed replacement or supplanter away from there because y'all had a cat named Lynn who came from Flynn.
Matt Flynn.
Flynn.
I never thought Flynn was going to do anything for Seattle.
I thought with
They
Lynn
won good
Dickey or
game.
something. Yeah, he sat behind Brett Favre, and he was supposed to be the ballyhooed savior of everything. He came in there in a 3rd round rookie, short from Richmond, Virginia. Good Christian man. Dad was president of not his dad, his grandparents were president of Norfolk State University. And I knew the young man had lightning in him. He was down here at NC State. He went up to Wisconsin. He's been at Regency Mall. That's a Richmond dude. And he came in there and told everybody, like Jaffe Joffer, ruler of Zamunda, you can all go home now. I'll take over.
Yeah.
And you had a killer defense, one of the best ever. They had Legion of Boom that later included a Marcus Burley, my cousin, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how you go to the Super Bowl. Win once, should have won again, but we ain't going. Is that too soon? Yeah, this is how it's done. Yeah, you get a rookie who can produce like a vet on a rookie deal, and you get the LOB, you get Cam Chancellor, you get Earl Thomas, you get Richard Sherman, you get pass rushes, you get beast modes, you get all of this other stuff, and hey, ride that thing until the cows go home. Hey, this is the blueprint. Seattle said it, but I'm taking it. Hey.
Seattle's secondary in 2 to 3 years legit is going to be badass. Like,
especially when we get a different safety in there. When we get two different safeties, because Pondre is getting old. He's not the same. And Jamal sucks ass as a person and on the field.
How long did it take you to realize, hey, we got done on this one? Because I knew he was a box safety.
About 2 years. He's not even a box safety. He can cover this year. He's doing pretty good in coverage. He can't tackle. He missed 2 tackles in 1 play last week. I know Bryant, whoever was doing the game last week, I think it was Ryan and David McNiner. I came in halftime and I go, I swear to God, he missed a tackle, stood up. The other guy, he was wrapped up by another defender, goes to hit him and just whiffs again. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Seriously. Anyways, final thoughts on this year's Seahawks. It really reminds me of the 2011 Seahawks, where we have a young defense, kind of a young core, and we have Tavares Jackson 2.0 as quarterback.
You think they're gonna draft a quarterback this year?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Yeah,
Bo Nix.
No.
You don't like Bo Nix? He's good, I think.
Why'd we beat him twice then?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm biased.
You're talking about college.
Yeah,
college.
I'm projecting out. I mean, he's not a finished product, ladies and gentlemen. Don't say you said he was gonna be the next guy. No, just as far
as Terry does his voices.
As far as a college,
he wants Caleb Williams.
I think he's pretty decent. I think he's one of the better ones. Bo Nix, obviously Caleb down at USC, and Penix is the dude. Penix. He's running the show.
Yeah, that's everybody's dream up here right now, is that we can get Penix, but I don't know if he's any better than Nick.
Oh, that guy from Washington.
That's what we were just talking about.
That's him. Yeah, that it is.
I mean, you're just basically trading in for a younger Geno who could get better in time.
This guy's
Geno's pizza.
Yeah, he can throw the ball. Like I saw a lot of Washington games,
dude.
What he can do with that arm is scary. But again, he's in college.
With people in his face, too. You'll see him just sling it out to the flat 100 miles per hour with a guy in his face. And you're like, how the fuck did he get that ball out that fast?
How did he?
He's kind of got a weird release. Not like a Tebow release. But
it's not quite sidearm, but he can.
Kaepernick's release was really weird. I went back and watched Kaepernick, man.
Yeah, so Penix is about the opposite of Kaepernick. Because Penix is very fucking tight and quick. It's not like he's loading up to fucking throw a javelin.
Yeah. Kaepernick had all day to just wind up. His release was really weird.
Yeah.
I didn't notice something back then, but now I know.
He's still winding up for a throw right now.
It's like
he used to be a pitcher too in baseball.
Yeah, it shows. It shows.
I saw Kaepernick when they played that football game at the baseball stadium at the what's now called Oracle, and the dude could not throw. I was at that game. He could not throw the football. He was 9 for something, and he had like more rush attempts than throwing the football. That's how bad.
What game was this? When did you see him?
In 2010, they played against, I think, Boston College at
in Nevada. When you saw him in Nevada.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nevada Arena. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Cap and quick release were never two things that went together at all.
Yeah, the slowest release I've seen. But for whatever reason, things were working for him for at least 2 years, and then what happened next.
Another thing in the draft this year, I think you're going to see Knicks and Penix both fall mightily because they're 25 years old already. Because those two are the last class of the COVID seniors, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Penix is from Nebraska, and then he transferred to Washington.
Indiana, but yeah.
But I think it's going to change simply because with Brock Purdy being, the Mr. Irrelevant, they're going to look at a lot of these guys who have plenty of play time, who have produced in college, that are going to get more look than they were, before all of that.
But who's to say that's going to work? Because remember when everybody started drafting fucking 5'11" quarterbacks because Russell Wilson was? That's how we ended up with Manziel and Baker Mayfield and Kyler.
It could just be like a one-year thing where everybody's like, oh, this guy started for 3 or 4 years. We have to trade him, or we have to pick him before this other guy who had 2 years, who was like, really high profile, threw a lot of touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. So it's be interesting to see how the quarterback stuff changes this draft.
There's one QB. There's one late QB that I like.
Who?
Devin Leary from Kentucky.
That's a random name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch it be the best quarterback of the draft.
Yeah, my cousin was talking about it.
I'll give him credit for that.
He's pretty
Devin
good.
Leary, quoted by Little Spongy.
I thought that would
will be
remember that
Leary.
game when Garoppolo got hurt against the Dolphins last season, and
He's an Eagle fan too.
Oh,
that's what
got it. Is he related to the?
Well,
Eagles
nobody's
owner?
perfect.
when Purdy took over for Garoppolo last
We need
year,
a cowgirl to help us out this week.
Jesus Christ, let the guy finish the sentence.
When Purdy took over for Garoppolo last year, when Garoppolo got hurt, I thought where I actually kind of got my confidence in Purdy was there was a 2-minute drill in the first half. It was like 3rd and 9, and then we got blitzed heavily, and Purdy had a guy, I think it was like Jalen Phillips, in his face, and Purdy just gets rid of the ball so fast to George Kittle for a first down.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, man, this guy can play. He can play the game.
Yeah.
Like so many rookie quarterbacks, whether you're first overall or Mr. Irrelevant, like the fact that he was able to read the play, he knew like where to throw it, how to throw it, get rid of the ball without taking a big shot. In a key situation, a 3rd and 9, he'd only played maybe a quarter of football regular season. And I think that was like just so impressive. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams draft quarterbacks in the next few years, because when Tom Brady was drafted, when Tom Brady had his success, it's everyone's like, oh, who's the next Tom Brady? And I'm not saying that Purdy is Tom Brady, but there are some similarities where it's late round pick, and it's like, are people going to look at not necessarily our teams who are like, okay, we could use a guy. We have an established veteran, but we can use a guy. And it's who are the guys in the 5th, 6th, 7th round who could potentially be the next Brock Purdy. But yeah, there's so many good quarterbacks like Caleb Williams and Drake May, and you look at Penix and Bo Nix, and it's always interesting to see how quarterbacks get drafted because every team kind of evaluates them a little bit differently. So
Look at what Randy said in the chat. That's insane.
Jason,
I just think it's going to change because a lot
way
more
better than
it's going to be way more fun how much you played, what you've done,
Stretch. A little bit of a stretch.
versus like that 1 year wonder.
Oh, Randy. Ooh, can you take it back? Wait a minute. Wait.
Can you pause?
Yeah. New Edition had a song way back in the day called "Cool It Now." Ooh, watch out! Watch out!
Ooh,
New Edition.
Watch out!
New Edition. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Hey,
got.
Come on, Terry, don't do that.
Let's hold on.
I know all of those who are
Brian, Bobby, Ricky, Mike.
and even those who aren't really enjoyed watching a rookie beat Tom Brady. Like, I don't think you had to be a Niner fan to enjoy Purdy's win over Tom Brady that day. That was
Oh,
epic.
no. That was
Was it
you're
the
right,
passing of the
Jimmy.
torch?
That was awesome. That was awesome. But all Purdy's got to do now is do it for the next 20 years. And you too will be better than Tom.
I'll
Brady.
take
And
10,
you
to be
too can
honest
be
with
elite
you.
with these 5 easy
That's
steps.
right.
Yes.
Just keep it
Like
going.
Give me 10.
hey, Bashar, like Velvet Jones. I wrote my book, How to Be a Host.
Eddie
Not
Murphy.
Velvet-
Eddie Murphy's
Not
old school.
Velvet Jones. No, not the
I've
Velvet.
had to be I forgot what it was.
Consistency is. Yeah, you got to be consistent. You got to stay consistent. And, whether you're a Purdy fan or not, it goes for any player. The consistency is the key because for a not for long career in the NFL, you must always every day prove your worth. For all of us folks over here, us regular folks, we don't have really to prove anything. We just got to do what we got to do to survive. But for you that are getting paid, and for us who are trying to pay for a ticket to go watch you, you've got to do your very best because we expect you to show us your best. And I think for the most part, I think we're going to see Brock Purdy's best because there's a lot of faith. There is a lot of faith in that guy. And if there's anything I will never stand in the way of is if anybody of their faith, anybody who will look at you and tell you, hey, I believe this, who am I to stand in their way? I don't stand in anybody's way. Brock Purdy is giving me the reason to believe that, hey, let the guy cook. He does. He looks like that guy. He shows you he is a man of his word, a man of faith. The team is rallying up around him. He is consistently winning, even with the inconsistent losses. It's just kind of like, damn, like this is a unexpected year. Like this year, what are we going to expect? I don't know. Does anybody know? We want to see winners. We see winners, but we are seeing more than winners. We are seeing some overachievers.
All right, so let's go to Bashar real quick. Bashar,
Well
who
said.
is the 49ers' biggest threat to get to the Super Bowl this season?
We just beat them.
Well, yes, but we still have to play the Ravens. Okay, we need the Super Bowl. I honestly truly believe the Niners are going to play the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Bashar, who do you predict if the Niners do make it to the Super Bowl, we're playing against?
Who are we going to play in the Super Bowl? That's your question?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I was going to say the Chiefs for quite some time, but I don't know. Everybody says like wait for Patrick Mahomes to wake up in the playoffs, and tough question because the Ravens look a bit more hotter than the Chiefs do. I don't know. I guess I got to go with the Ravens by default.
Okay, let me show everybody this. Let me get 10 seconds.
This is almost one of those questions you gotta ask after the game.
Wait. Let me get 10 seconds of everybody's life.
After Christmas.
And I will give it back to you one way or the other. Somehow I will give you back 10 seconds, okay? Real quick.
Man, got 10 seconds.
I've seen that.
The color scheme.
You think the Vikings and the Chiefs are making the Super Bowl this year?
I mean, the color scheme.
What if 49ers and Ravens?
No.
Psych.
I saw that too. I think it could happen, but the Ravens need their best weapon.
So that's the thing. So for the last how many Super Bowls?
The Ravens need their best weapon in Mark Andrews, and they don't have him right now.
So how can they predict what the colors are going to be for them?
It's fixed.
Dude, shut up. I'm not doing the conspiracy shit.
The color scheme, it's fixed.
I'm sorry, but we might as well be talking about WWE if we're talking about scripted sports. I'm not fucking talking about it.
True.
Look here, brother.
No disrespect to Lawrence from Platform.
Isn't it weird? Why do they put the color logo? And then
let me tell you something, McMahon. This is Jesse the Body Ventura.
Macho Man Randy Savage. Hey,
Undertaker.
I'm going to the steel, baby. Oh yeah.
Hey, Bryant, how am I gonna get that 10 seconds back? Because
let me think about this.
Did you know that Odell Beckham Jr.'s one-hand catch for the Giants? That was scripted.
I need 10 seconds.
You need 10 seconds, Brian? That's what she said.
Joe needs 30 seconds.
Pause.
You need 30 seconds. You need 30 seconds.
Hey, Spongy, you have a fan.
I'm reclaiming my time. That's how the senators do. How the congressmen do. And I'm reclaiming my time.
Smudgy, my bad. I forgot to address you by your new name, the Dodo.
Dodo.
I am not
You made the bet. You accepted it. You're a Dodo.
Yeah, I didn't get that picture.
Wait,
So whatever.
wait. Come on. You did not do nothing disgusting, right? Was that Dodo or something different? Because if it was anything other than Dodo, I'm gonna have to say. I'm just saying. Hey, we must respect.
I got cool
We
now
must
stuck in my head.
respect the younger crew.
Thanks, Pterodactyl.
I got no problem with Spongy. Spongy has showed up and like everybody shows this.
These first opinions are not necessarily those of the Bryant Culp.
Young, impressionable mind.
Because if it isn't love, why do I feel
Such
this way?
terrible thing.
Why do I feel this way?
You're high.
Pause. You gotta kill it.
Girl,
I know all the steps. I am the
I
choir
think
boy
Spongy.
of New Edition. I can sing all his parts.
Please don't.
I mixed up the
right, I'll ask a question.
the metaverse. Sorry,
Me and
Tony.
Terry need a sideshow for this.
Be sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob.
At the side.
Aisha.
So, question here,
ABC was bad.
and then I'll be quiet. I promise.
ABC was lit.
Another bad creation.
Or don't take a break.
Y'all know ABC was hot. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. But they were.
All right.
Pause.
We'll ask a question. It's going to be in regards to this coming up Sunday. Okay, so here we go.
Eagles are
Joe
gonna
Stevens,
win.
I'm going to give the floor
Eagles
to you
are gonna
first,
win.
and then anybody else. Little Spongy.
Even keel Joe Stevens.
Go backstage.
Etiquette. We mind our manners, young man.
No, Spongy don't
We're gonna
listen
let
to
the
nobody.
elders
Spongy lives by his own rules. Sorry.
She is such a mom. I love it. She's like, mind your manners, young man. I heard it.
Wild and free.
Ma'am, yes,
You
ma'am.
know,
You're my boy, Blue.
young,
You're
wild,
my
and
boy,
free.
Blue.
Mind your P's and Q's,
But
Rooney.
the question is, DK Metcalf, we seen him last game. He had exploded. Even though the Seahawks did not win, they did have some playmakers make some plays. I believe Metcalf is going to be substantially an issue for the 49ers. Because although the 49ers did beat the Eagles, I'm not saying we got lucky. I think we played our cards right, just like chess, was able to play the right pieces. But I think there are still some situations such as giving up 95 plus yards to the opposing team's wide receivers. So there are some things that the Niners will have to face as far as our defense or offense. But DK Metcalf for sure. Is he or is he not going to be a threat to our Niners?
Oh yeah, I think so. But then again, who's going to be throwing him the ball, right? I think they completely game planned wrong against you guys the first time. I think they weren't expecting that much pressure, which how could you not? Which is just stupid. And they just sent him on streaks the whole game. Probably what they're going to do this time. They're probably just going to run him on a bunch of 3-yard slants this game and hope he can break free. And let's be honest, he probably will. He's a beast, dude.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is between Geno Smith.
What? Pardon?
If Geno Smith doesn't play and Drew Lock plays, it doesn't matter regardless because I think you have the same in Drew Lock as you would, I believe, in Geno Smith. So I don't think
it doesn't matter.
Bro,
the
did you
Seahawks
watch
can
the
necessarily have that
Cowboys
big of an
game
issue
on?
as far as
So
which
Geno's coming off his best game, probably of his career against the Cowboys, even though we lost. Guys, go back and rewatch it. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. You guys had a lot of.
Yeah,
Did you see that kid? Did you see that kid got that football by Metcalf?
That's a great game.
No, I didn't. Did you see him sign language?
This guy who he had a
he's
number.
using his sign language now. I heard about that.
He had a number 3 on jersey on Metcalf score, and after that he went over on the side, handed off the ball to him, and he gave it to him.
Sick. Yeah, Lock sucks.
And I don't know. I'm just gonna.
We beat rap what keep
Well,
to lock.
It's pretty terrible. So everybody was
like that. Okay.
I'm just gonna say it like this.
Cool like
Shifty out, guys. Bye.
They leave.
I love you, Shifty.
Shifty, low down, ready and grimy.
Where'd that voice come from?
We lost one. We lost one.
In Belfast, Ireland.
Tony, did you
young blood in the space?
put Brian in timeout for the 10 seconds?
You are going to be in a timeout.
Okay.
Oh no.
Keep it up.
He's on baby duty.
Thursday's going to be lit.
No, I think honestly, this coming up Sunday, we're gonna have a great game. We have, if there's anything that a Niner fan has learned, and even the Niners have learned, is don't ever sleep on a divisional. Hang on a sec. Don't ever sleep on a divisional team because when we went to go face off with the Rams for the 3rd time that 1 year, and we ended up losing. That's enough said. We just don't want to do that, and we're trying to sweep a division. I don't want to sit here and say, yeah, we got the win in the bag against the Seahawks this coming up Sunday because they do lead the series. 30 to 20.
No,
30 to 20. So
30 to 21 now. Because you guys won on Thanksgiving, it's 30-21.
Oh, 30 to 21. Oh, yeah. That was nice. That's a true.
I didn't want to rub.
Amazing fan. You know what, Joe Stevens? If we were talking about awards, that is the reason why you are the greatest Seahawk fan on a 49ers channel ever. And shout out to Eric Willis when he does join.
And nice to meet you too.
You too. I'm not classy at all, though. We suck.
I missed having a beer with you,
Red
man.
Jet Shell, we need you to go. Red Jet Shell, we need you to go like and subscribe to Joe Stevens' channel. He is a Seahawk fan, but we think he's a faithful. He hangs out with us.
Very respectable fan of.
First of all,
I'll let you know his honest opinion, but at least he's a deep.
Yeah, that's it. I left Jason hanging on Thanksgiving. My wife convinced me not to go to
I had
the
the beer
game.
waiting for you and everything.
You should have went.
I'm happy I didn't at this point. You know what? To be honest, so this will be the first 49ers game I missed since I think 2015 at home. And obviously I don't go to the road games. But
we'll get you next season, bud.
Well, in my heart of hearts, I was like, please don't. Like when we were down in the 3rd quarter and, we started driving a little bit in the pit of my stomach, I'm like, I'm going to fucking miss this, huh? It's like that movie Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon when, remember the Red Sox had that big comeback and he's like, then he's pissed because he wasn't there, right? That was my feeling. I was so conflicted at that point. I was like, nah, just keep kicking our ass. I'll be fine. Chilling here at home.
I remember that movie.
Gonna run to the stadium real quick.
Yeah.
Honestly, with everything that was going on with that, we might not have had a chance to actually meet up just because it got so crazy. Between getting to that stadium and then everybody else that was just everything going on. Because the hat.
I know my
just
way.
got out of control.
Around town.
The captain of the heart.
I could basically be
the whole hat thing got out of control.
I don't know that
Jason,
song.
you can basically be like, look to your right, look to your left. Tell me
Stand out
what's next to you,
later.
and stand right there for
Oh,
5
I
minutes.
remember that.
Be right there.
That might have been the way it went.
You know that was hot.
I remember that. Now I know the song.
If you guys don't know the story about the hat, I bought it simply
Conversation
to go
within a
with one hat.
conversation.
I bought the hat.
We just had a whole Hollywood Squares.
And
Yeah, I'm a
it
square.
just kind of took a life of its
I think
own.
Joe should have been center. I think Joe should have been center square.
Probably. Jason,
be
why do I
square.
keep coughing? Jason, how'd you get the fucking hat?
I don't fucking know at this point.
There you go.
The hat is dope. The hat is you, Captain. You the captain now.
The hat was good enough to
fantastic
take from
voyage.
Niners
I'm the
Mask to
captain.
Hey,
Niners.
you should be wearing
It's
Niners.
mothership.
Next season, Joe. Next season.
50.
Me and Joe should make a web series about how we meet up at the Seahawks Niners game here in Seattle.
Oh, hey.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna be doing another like maybe 2 hours on our show here in a little bit. It used to be about a 4-hour show on one stream, but we had to break it down so we can take bathroom breaks and come back. Some people
Break
need
it
to
down.
take a minute and maybe go and eat. You know, maybe right. We appreciate everybody for coming. So, Joe, are you the one who are going to be finishing on? If not, Tony can fire up the burner, but we need like 5 minutes. So,
I already sent you a DM on
what's
Twitter.
the plan? Are we moving to Joe's?
Yeah,
I don't check Twitter. Okay,
on Twitter.
I'll check
Joe's
Twitter.
apartment.
I did want to
So
say.
you will be going. Hey, if you didn't see that movie, I never seen it.
I knew you
seen
got
the
that.
trailer.
Got the
That was.
reference.
I couldn't.
I did want to say, if the Hawks win on Sunday, I will come here to one of your guys' channels after the game, and I will beer bong Space Dust.
Okay, can you do that on Tuesday at like
All right.
4:30?
Hey, what happened to Tiger? What happened to Dayglow?
What happened to what?
What happened to Dayglow? Dayglow.
Oh, it's gone.
Elysian. Dayglow.
I haven't seen Dayglow in a while. Have you, Jason?
Bashar with the teddy bear.
Bashar, is that sourdough or whom is that?
But I don't know. Somebody. I don't know what his name is.
Oh,
I have that same bear. I have the same one.
I bought 2 of them and I gave one of them to my nephew.
Twinsies.
Aww.
Hey, not trying to plug my own stuff, but if
Don
you guys
in the
are
chat.
into
Hey,
draft stuff,
Don.
I'll be doing a whole draft guide on the Pac-12 this year. Possibly,
Pac-12, baby.
Possibly.
Hit me up when you do that. I would like to go with it.
Pac-12's dead.
I love the Pac-12.
Well,
I hate it when people hate on the Pac-12.
No, it's dead. Basically,
it's not that we hate the Pac-12. It's actually
I know they're
It's
stealing
the
all our
Pac-2
good teams.
now. It's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's the Pac-2.
Now, what is it going to be next year? For seriously, what is it going to be next year?
Pac-2.
It's going to be Pac Jam.
No, it's basically the Oregon State, Washington State. They have the assets, but that conference dead.
So it's going to be just 2 teams next year. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna merge with the Mountain West. Inevitably.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the only thing. They can do.
They'll
Yeah,
do
I
it
miss-
Mountain West
that
at
pisses
some
me
point. There'll be
off. I
some
hate-
sort of
I say what they
announcement.
do if they win all the money from the 10 other schools. Just one of them go fucking balls to the wall and hire Saban as their head coach. Just be like, what do you guys got?
Well,
We got Nick
I like
Saban
it.
here.
That's actually a
plan.
pretty damn good idea for
That's a good plan.
Well, it's so hilarious that they're suing the other 10 schools for $140 million. Okay, they're all petty. They're all
Yeah,
petty.
400 million eventually. And guess what? They should get it to rebuild the conference. They should. And I'm a Huskies fan. I fucking hate the Cougars. But the way that USC started that shit, USC and UCLA, they left and started this whole fucking conference realignment. I hate USC. I hate UCLA. I hate Oregon the most, but you know,
Yeah,
they suck anyways.
I'm pissed off at Cal when the president of the school said, "We only play against good teams. We don't play no trash Mountain West teams."
Yeah, well, it seems like they do at the beginning of every year in non-conference games.
Oh
Go
my
ahead
gosh,
and play
we
the
haven't
SEC
been good
in
since
September.
Tedford left. We haven't been good in a long time, and we think we're supposed to match up with Florida State and Clemson. Well, they're going to SEC. So, anyway.
Florida State's gonna get run in the FCC. SEC.
So we're gonna keep the channel over here going for like maybe five more minutes, guys. Joe, go ahead and fire up the burner, turn on the light, flip on the bat signal, and we'll be over there, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody make sure
Twitter
you like and
guys, and
subscribe
also
to everybody here in the
Make sure to get Spongy, Red Jet Shell, and David Corona the link. I don't have them on anything. So if you guys
got
want
me,
to go.
you got me. What about me? What about me? I'm in charge of the meat.
No
Send me a link.
You can send me a text message,
Daryl's bringing the meat.
Joe.
He's bringing the pork belly.
This was the best show.
Send me a text
Thank
message.
y'all for inviting.
I bring
I
paper
finally
plates.
get to see Bryant and Tony live. I'm just like,
All right. Hey, I'll
Just so
see
you know,
guys
Reggie,
later.
this is
Thank you
every
for having me,
Friday night.
Bryant. You're the man. Thank you
thank
all.
y'all for having me. This was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Joe,
Red
2 weeks is gonna be fun. 2 weeks is gonna be fun.
He's gone.
What you got, Spongy?
Hey,
I know.
Spongy, tell us how you got the name.
Are we going to Spongy? Is Spongy going to host in 2 weeks?
That's loaded.
Yes, yes, I am.
All right then.
No, but how I got my name? So I was just on a call with my friends, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
tell us how you got your name, Spongy.
my friends and we were thinking of making like a song, so we wanted to create like names for each other. So I went to the rapper generator name, and I put.
I didn't know such a
I
rapper
wanted
existed.
something with little in front of it. So I'm like, okay. And then I thought of SpongeBob, and then I'm like, oh, that works.
Spongy. Oh.
I figured there was a SpongeBob connection somewhere in there.
Yeah. Kids get nicknames on the internet.
Spongy, are you like
I'm
4'2"?
SpongeBob. I'm stacking Krabby Patties.
Pause. Good night.
Well, listen, not that long ago, we were all in trouble.
I need an actual picture of Spongy so I can
All right, folks.
decide how to go with it.
All right, Brian. Thank you for having me. Let's go
Thank
Niners.
you for having me. Yeah.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Boo Niners. Boo
I'll jump
Niners.
on over the next place.
Boo Niners. Boo Niners.
Let's go Cowboys this
Okay,
week. We need the Cowboys to beat the Eagles.
David,
you shouldn't say that out loud.
David.
Funny sound, right?
In the chat. Otherwise, look up Joe Stevens. He'll be going live here at 9 p.m. Otherwise, thank you everybody for tuning in. It has always been great on a Friday night variety show. Stay tuned for part 2, Joe Stevens. Check link in the chat or go to Joe Stevens on YouTube.
Thank you guys again, everyone. Even Little Sponge. Sometimes you got to be able to get the words out, And we appreciate you all for coming. Bashar, thanks for jumping in. Jason Niner, Matt, Captain Niner, tear it down. Appreciate you. We'll get you on next in like 2 weeks. You just let me know your schedule. We'll go from there. David Corona, we'll get you the link. John Jay, if you want to come over. But again, everybody, when we have these big panels, we appreciate everybody's patience. We can't all talk at once, but we love talking. We all have fun. And you know what? Share, subscribe, retweet, tell everybody. Please help Korey Davis continue to grow. We can only keep him alive in our thoughts, and we can continue to grow his channel. That's why the Friday night show and the late night show should always be, considered the Korey Davis show and Friends. And it's on Friday night. So however we're going to word it, that's going to be the title of the show. The Friday night show with Korey Davis and Friends, and you guys are all friends, and we appreciate you guys for coming. So hopefully I'll see you over there at Joe's, and we appreciate y'all. Please go and check out the descriptions in a little bit. I'll make sure I have everybody's YouTube channel there, and we'll go from there. See you guys on the other side. And with that, we are out. I'm going to drop my little...
Have a great night, everybody.
R.I.P. Korey Davis.
Yes.